We should be live on now. But yeah, I just think they should have had it would have been better if they had the chevrons all the way down the sleeves. There's not enough chevrons to be Hummel. I like to see more than just two right at the top where you can hardly see them. Unless I'm
the original one had it, didn't it?
Aye. Should be live on now. So hello to the Mackem Cabbie Premier League show with Richie. Kev is on his way. And I am just waiting for him. Hi, Richie, how you been?
I'm sound, my mate.
It would have
Really
been better
good.
if I had the...
Same thing, different day, as you like to put it. Well, I am good, mate. How are you?
I'm canny, mate. I'm canny. Not too bad at all. I don't know if you want to keep having a crack on. I'm just going to email or message the link to Kev. I'll have to give him on Discord.
I want to know in chat, has anybody, and I'm talking to the fellas here, has anybody managed to get an XL or a double XL away top from the club? Because literally, I went on Friday, about an hour after they went on sale, and I was telling Cabbie there just before we come on that I ordered my son's, which is a small man's, then I went to order mine, which is a double XL. So at the time it was available. And then literally, I had to put my details in, my bank details, verify everything with my bank, and then get back through to the website, and it sold out. In the space of like a couple of minutes, it was gone. So I'm just wondering, is anybody else managed to get an away top, and what do you think of it? Do you like it?
Yeah, well, I like it, Rich. I do like the top. Like I say, it would have been, to me, it would have been better if there was a bit more chevrons on the sleeves, to say the least. But like I say, I could just be being picky.
Aye.
I don't know. But
that's how the original looked, didn't it, Cabbie? Because I seen the highlights. It was really showing you the match against the Mags and that away top. And then I remember you saying it should have had them down this evening. I noticed they were down there. But I'm not sure. Like, I think it looks good now, but I think it would probably still look good if it had the chevrons all the way down as well.
It's just like with Gates and Gabbiadini saying, I remember beating the Mags 2-0 at St James's Park with this top. That top is not like it. It's a nice top. I'm not just it. It's just nothing like the top that would beat them at St James's Park in the playoffs. If you like to see, if you look at the blue one, I've got it here. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it. See that?
Aye.
That's got the chevrons all the way down. It's just two little ones at the top, which I like to see with Hummel. I like to see the chevrons on display because that's Hummel's trademark. And I just not keen on it when they hide them at the top, so you cannot see them. It's like I say, I am just being picky. You know what I'm like.
So on that top, Cabbie, has it got anything in the blue? Because the new ones has got the lighthouse. Is that got any? Because I've never seen that one. Like, I've never had it in my hands before. Or is it just like different shades of blue on there? There's no like logo or anything in it.
This one's got Hummel on it. In words.
No. Do you know the blue? So the new one's got like the cross, like it's like a square with like the picture of the lighthouse in it.
We've got Kev in the house now.
Hello,
Kev. Hold on. I'm just going to do a bit of a jiggery pokery here, mate. Just bear with us a second. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Well,
like the things and all. Missed yous all.
Aye, you've been a miss, Kevy lad. Hold on a second. We'll catch up with everybody on the chat in a minute. I'm just going to add Kev, so just give us 2 tickies. Kev's been a busy bloke.
I have.
Right. Okay, we're nearly there. Just been talking about the new away top. Do you like it, Kev?
Do I? I think I said, yeah, Cabbie, I'd love to see history repeat itself in that top at St James's Park.
Too right, mate.
Oh, God,
right.
Wouldn't it just be good? Right, just 2. I'll put you there. I was just saying to Richie, I would have preferred it if the chevrons were further down.
Aye.
Down the sleeve.
I can see that one behind you.
Aye.
A little bit different, isn't it?
It is, aye. Like I say, Gates and Gabby Dean, he was saying, oh, this is the top will beat the mags. I says, it's not like it. It's a good top, but it's nothing like it. I prefer this. I prefer the chevrons all the way down the sleeves. Me, like I'm an old schooler. Maybe that's what it is. I'm a bit behind the times. God, there's loads of people. We've got 55 people in already. That is just mental. And the amount of messages coming in. A big hello, Dougie Stewart, the moderator, Kingfisher, how you doing? Paul Graham, David Joblin, Colin Major, Ian Brown, D Hall, Ollie, Robin Hood, Kingfisher, Pixel Rich, Patrick, Paul Graham, Ricky Howe, Steve Taylor, John Nesbitt, Stephen Martin, Tricia Winstanley, our moderator. How are you doing as well? David Scott. Welcome everybody to the Mackem Cabbie Premier League show with myself, Richie, and Kev. Kev, you've been doing a bit of hiking, I believe.
Aye, just a bit. I did on Saturday. I did the Yorkshire 3 Peaks Challenge to raise money for my dad, obviously. And oh my God, have I suffered yesterday, today, now, then. I'm in bits.
So what's if anybody doesn't know what's the Peaks about? What is it you were doing? What is it you actually went on?
So the Yorkshire 3 Peaks is down in Horton and Ribblesdale, or Ribblesdale Horton. I think it's Horton and Ribblesdale near Settle. And you've got 3 peaks: Pennygant, Vernside, and Ingleborough. And the whole route is 25 miles. It's like a big loop, and obviously it includes the 3 hills as well. And the challenge, the ordinary challenge, is to do it in 12 hours. However, the weather was absolutely horrendous. Gale force winds, lashing down rain. It took us 14 and a half hours. We left at 7:15 on the morning, and we got back at 10:15. We got back to the car on the night. Can I hear you, Cabbie?
Has he muted himself?
I put myself on mute because I was I was blowing my snout. I was blowing my nose. It's a shame we weren't doing it this week. It's just going to be like 27, 28 degrees, but yet again, that could be too hot.
I did it 3 years ago when I was a bit fitter, about 3 stone lighter, and it was like that then, 30 degrees, and I was burnt. All my legs, my face, I was severely sunburned. And I actually thought, what was best? I actually preferred the weather at the weekend. It wasn't cold, it was wet and windy, but I'd rather that than burning and dehydrating. And it's a tough challenge. Like, if anybody likes hiking or anything like that, or fancies a challenge, go and do that. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, ever. And I've done kind of few things in my time, like.
Aye, so a lot of people are saying well done in the chat, and a few people are asking how your dad is. You don't want to give a quick update how your father is, how he's doing, Kev?
Yeah, so my father's still in good spirits. He's as expected, I guess, as kind of time goes on a bit, speech and things like that, but he's still in good spirits. It's his birthday this Saturday. So we're all going. We've booked a swimming pool, like a private pool place, and a few of the families all going. And we took him swimming last week or the week before, and he really enjoyed it. And it gives him a little bit of exercise, and kind of, he's safe in the water, I guess, as well, from falling and things like that. So we're going to do that this week, and then hopefully go for an Indian somewhere, I think is the plan.
Oof. God's sake! I tell you what, I could swim. I've had a swimming pool full of Indians. I seen the video your father like. His personality's still the same, Kev.
He's still there. He's still got his crack. He's he's funny. Like, he is funny. He was sending. My sister was kind of taking videos of him to send to us when we were doing the walk, and he got a few things wrong, and my sister didn't want us to send them to me, but my father went, send them, man, they'll have a laugh. So she sent us them all.
I was laughing. They were laughing in the background. At Davey, it was like it'll be all right on the night with Dennis Snowden and his clipboard. He was trying to get his words out. They were all laughing. I mean, hats off. They were just taking it in good humour. Why not?
We are. You've got to laugh. It's a serious situation, but it's pointless. Macking at that. I guess you got to laugh with it, and go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Eddie Bamber's just joined us, and I think he's going to do another video of the old the black and white era cartoons featuring possibly Richie and Kev. That was funny. That was good.
Hello, Eddie.
Kingfisher says, well done, Kev, he'd be proud of you. Paul Graham, well done, Kev, mate. Robin says I'm muted. I'm not muted. I was catching up on some of the chat, lads. Pixel Rich says, Richie got my XL shirt and 2 small adults for my grandsons Friday afternoon. He says there was loads in the shop.
Right.
Ricky House says, do you still need to buy a size up like last year?
Aye. Apparently it's so like aye. Yeah.
I mean, if it's out like me, I keep putting a stone on every year, so I'm going to need a fly sheet, mate, and sew them all together. But that's
that is the crap, like.
That's usually the crack with football tops, isn't it? If you take an XL, get a double XL without a doubt. I don't know what world they're living in or how big they think an XL is, but it's not like a 7 stone person, is it? What else have I missed? Dougie Stewart, the admin, the moderator says, hope you're all well. Looking forward to the latest SAFC news this evening. Robin Hood says, thought this Ronaldo deal would be done by now. They've spoilt me with the quick business so far. Ian Brown says, Habib and Siddiqui were at the Stadium of Light today. Ricky House says, thanks, lads. Not you're welcome. There's a couple of more messages. Paul Graham says, just have to sign 2 strikers with the surname beginning with G. Then we will have the G-Force again. Part 2. Who would have thought? Steve Taylor says, hi guys, can anyone please PSR in the Premier League? Are we going against the rules? Could we be in trouble next season? He reckons he's really concerned. Good point, but I mean, I think we are doing it properly. What's the rules, lads? Are we spending too much? How much are we allowed to spend?
Well, I seen that we're okay to spend 100 million. I mean, I'm not totally clued up on this PSR thing. Like, I don't know whether Kev knows more than me on it. Like, but I've seen that we can spend 100 million in this season. We're under no pressure from the PSR. But that's all I've heard. And I don't know whether that's set in stone or if that's 100% true. Like, but I don't know about you, like Kev.
A bit like yourself, Richie. I'd heard 100 million. However, we've sold a couple of players, and I think it's done over a 3-year period or 3-year blocks. So if we overspend and stayed in the league, I think we're all right. If we overspend and don't stay in the league, I think is where it might hit us. But I think what we've spent so far is not far off what we've got in. So can we then spend another 100 million on top of what we spend?
Going back to that Ronaldinho that somebody put in the chat, I was just reading tonight that they're waiting to confirm the Talbi deal, if that's how you pronounce it, or Talbi or whatever how you pronounce it, the winger from Anderlecht. And they're waiting for Ronaldinho's medical to go through, and they're going to announce them together in the next couple of days, they said. So hopefully this week we'll have another 2 set-in-stone players in the door.
Ollie says,
Ah,
sorry, carry on, Kev, mate. Carry on, fella.
Well, I was just about to see. I mean, I think a few people have already said in the chat and things like that. And the signings that I think we've made already, I think I'm really happy with. Good mix of, they are young players other than Ronaldo, what those Richie's just mentioned there, and they're still young, but they've got a lot of experience, and they seem to be the wanted players. They're not just plucked out of nowhere. Even though I admit I don't know much about them at all, other than what I've seen on social media and YouTube, and maybe it's because we've been down in the lower leagues. They've never been on our radar before, so why would we ever look at people like that till now? But there seem to be it's not like we've gone out and just picked £5 to £8 million players and hope and pray that they're going to be all right. I think they've done some good signings.
Absolutely. Ollie says, Cabbie, what happened to the SAFC Daily News? Yeah, it's just, I'm putting daily stuff up. It's just while the transfer window is open, there's just, there's news every day regarding transfers. I will be doing the Back to Me Daily News episodes when the football season starts. Ollie, like a bit of a roundup what's been going on. But just at the moment, there's the transfer window's open and there's a lot of stuff coming in every day. It's all happening indeed. Colin Major says, well done, Kev. The way I am at the minute, it takes all my time to climb the stairs, he says.
Cheers, Colin, lad.
Pixel Rich says, welcome to Eddie Bamber along, mate. Loved your review of the away shirt. Yeah, it is a good video. He's done a good video of the away shirt. Ricky Howe says, Petrovic back on by the looks of it. Will be our best signing by far. Chelsea need to raise 60 million if they want to stay within the rules. Yeah, and Dougie says, if you have TikTok, follow Cabbie on there as well. But yeah, I mean, I kind of keep up with all these signings. I mean, I even heard on Talk Sport today, Newcastle's Callum Wilson has been released by the club. He's not there anymore, and there's rumours the fact Sunderland, Brentford, Leeds United, and Burnley could be sniffing about. I mean, Callum Wilson at Sunderland, would you take him?
No, there you go. There's your answer.
Nah.
You wouldn't take him?
Nah. I wouldn't even have him if he paid us to play.
You what?
I wouldn't even have him if he paid us to play.
Is that because he's a mag, or is that because he's injury prone, or he's rubbish?
All of the above.
Aye, all of the above. I heard that on Talk Sport today. Not Total Sport. If people are thinking it's BBC Newcastle, I'm talking about Talk Sport. About Callum Wilson and that. Like, it made us chuckle a little bit, but how got to sort of report these things.
He's in dreamland coming out and saying, "Oh, I want to still play Premier League football." I mean, what Premier League team's going to take him on? I mean, you must be desperate, not just because he played for Newcastle, but however, he's just as bad as Calvert-Lewin, if not worse. He plays a couple of games, has a good game, then he's injured for months and months and months. He has to step down when you get to that stage in your football career. You've got to admit yourself, right? It's obvious that I cannot keep up with it in this league, so just step down. You know what I mean? He'll do well in the Championship. He's not. He's like Calvert-Lewin, man. He's not going to do a job in the Premier League again. They just can't handle it with the injuries, can they?
Well, funny you should say about Calvert-Lewin. Newcastle are trying to get Calvert-Lewin to them. That was on Talk Sport today as well. So there we go. They're trying to get Calvert-Lewin.
I hope they sign him.
But they have told him, mind, to be, if he was to come to Newcastle, don't expect much first team action starting it. He'll be mostly on the bench. But I don't know, it's weird. I've got massive 82 people on the channel watching. 19 likes. Click the thumbs up. The more you hit that thumbs up button, the more it sets the YouTube algorithms off, and more people can know that it's going on. So let's get the old thumbs up. Don't get too many blisters doing it. Thanks everywhere. Topsy T, being a long time no see, says, how do, lads? Long time no speak. Hope everybody is okay. Dougie says, Wilson is too injury prone, a bit like Calvert-Lewin. Jim N says, Don't ask silly questions, Cabbie, man. Now he's telling me off. David Graham says, Callum Wilson to Sunderland. He says, I'd rather have Isaac. I wonder how the Geordies would think of that. I think you've got more chance of sleeping with the Teresa than that happening, to be honest with you. Kingfisher says, playing the long game with the acquisitions, the amount of players we've got with the sell-on clauses, I just think it's good business and setting a good platform for us. Peter Griffin, hello to you. Good to see you. He says 2 seasons ago, Wilson was so good, he was competing with Isaac for the starting spot. His goals to games ratio was brilliant. When he was fit, he scored. Just unfortunately, his body is broken. David Scott says Leeds can have Callum Wilson. David Walker says no to sick notes. Etienne says there's only one Wilson, and that is Isidore. Robin Hood says, I'm surprised I haven't seen more links to centre-backs. It makes me wonder if you're switching to 3 at the back. That's what I heard, 74. Hello to you. Good to see you. He says, I think we need to keep Pierre Ekwa. He's matured this season at Saint Etienne. Check out his stats on FootMob. Absolutely solid. No-brainer, as he's already ours. What do you reckon, lads, about that then, Pierre Ekwa? I'm just going to get a drink of water. I'm a bit dry.
So, for me, he said some derogatory stuff about the club when he went on loan to them. So he doesn't want to be here. So anyone like that, I would rather not be at the club. I think people like that can be a bad apple. It was a bit of a surprise when he left, actually, because he was all right. He was a bit poor when he first come to us, getting going, but he had a good season, didn't he?
Scored some worldies, didn't he? Remember the goals he scored for him, man.
And then all of a sudden, he was gone. And he obviously wanted to be away. And I remember reading an interview when he went to where he goes, Saint Etienne.
Yeah, Saint Etienne, yeah.
And I remember reading an interview when he was kind of saying, like, derogatory stuff about the club or his time there or something like that. And I thought, mate, you're well gone. You know, bad apples, man. Bad apples.
Aye. What did he say? Can you remember, Kev? That just jogged my memory. I remember reading something about it. I can't remember what he said.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but I just remember reading it and thinking, I was surprised at what he was saying. And it was, I don't know, something like he just didn't enjoy his time at the club. And he was so happy to be away and can't wait to get started. Aye, back to France. Aye. Yeah. And I think the same, Ayushi's just gone to Aberdeen.
He has, yeah.
And I think Labrie obviously knows him from the past. And I think he's a bad apple and all. I actually thought he was a canny player. And I never understood why he didn't really get more chances. But I feel Labrie knows him more than what any of us do. And he doesn't want him around the squad whatsoever, like. That's what I think.
I think Labrie's quite clever at that, though, isn't he? I mean, we're not in the Premier League for any reason. It's not locker out like that. I mean, I think he's getting a good camaraderie, good team spirit in the dressing room, isn't he? And I think he spots these bad eggs. I think that's what he's doing. And it's right, like, you cannot have that one person because it can turn the whole lot and turn the car off, can't it? So.
Mm-hmm. Is that your vodka?
That's my vodka. This is like the size of the Cala gas bottles when we used to go on caravanning years ago.
It's about the size of my cops today. Cala gas bottle today.
I'm supposed to drink a full one of them every day. That's the recommended water you're supposed to have. The only trouble is, I didn't have a toilet in my taxi, but that's why I've got a Lenore bottle under my seat. So. God, these messages are flying in. We only need 16 people to hit 100, 15 people to hit 100, which has never ever been done on a Monday. So thanks everyone, and we've now got 42 likes. Thank you. That's more like it. We've got to catch up on these chats as well. Where are we? Dougie Stewart says, "Can the Mags not buy Pavida?" John Nesbitt says, "Chelsea keeper top quality. It's looking like he's coming. Big game changer for me." Pixel says,
"Sorry to stop you there, Cabbie,
carry on, Richie." Yeah,
I was just gonna say that's conflicting for me, like, because I've read today that apparently he's away to another Saudi team.
Again,
we're
another
looking
one.
into getting and we're looking into getting Sam Johnson from Wolves. So that's like, in my head, that's just conflicting. So I would definitely getting whoever put that in the chat. Is that definitely the crack? Sorry to interrupt you there, mate.
No, you're fine. It's an open mic show. You know, I mean, tell me to shut up as much as you want.
No.
It's,
are we Patterson isn't good enough then?
It's looking that way. It's looking that way, isn't it? I think. I mean, look, the slogan is at the playoff final, like, you've stepped up, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to step up, in every which way but loose. And you know, I think. You see, it's one of those that you cannot risk. If you got any doubt that you think a player's not good enough, then you cannot have that doubt going at the Premier League, because it'll punish you. It's a harsh league. You've got, if you think Pato's not good enough, then you've got to change it, because you can't say, "Oh, we'll give him 10 or 15 games in the Premier League, and if he's no good." It's not the Championship. You know, you've got world class players in the Premier League. It will he could eat Pato up for lunch. So I don't know, but to me it looks like we keep sniffing around at keepers that it looks like we could have a new number one. Whether Pato will like that or not, I do not know. I mean, what do you lot think, Kev, Richie? What do you think about Patterson? And we'll talk about him. Do you think is he Premier League material?
I like him. I do like him. I think. Well, there was a lot of Premier League clubs who were after him when he's, the last year or so. However, I think this season just gone there was a lot of occasions where we conceded goals where he come and flapped, and I think he struggles to command his box when the ball's coming in. And I think that's kind of maybe something like what you've just said there, Cabbie. You kind of take a chance with something, but I would like to see him stay. But I also do believe that we, like what you've just said, we should have another number one. But I think would I be worried with him in goal a little bit? I think, and like you've just said, if it didn't go right and he started, goalkeeper is a big confidence thing, And if your confidence goes as a goalkeeper, you're knackered. Like, and if you haven't got somebody proper to come in, we're screwed. We'll be relegated by January. So I do think it's the right thing to bring in a good top quality keeper.
Fair enough, Kev. What do you reckon, Richie?
Yeah, I agree with Kev. I think Patterson needs to maybe develop for another year or two to improve his his overall game. Like Kev's just said, he's hit the nail on the head there. His communication in the area is terrible. You never really see him as a focal keeper, you know what I mean? And he obviously needs to work on his distribution as well. I mean, look, I'm not going to give the lad loads of stick, because what he's done for us last season in the Championship, especially in the playoffs and the playoff final.
I don't forget those two saves he made in the playoff final.
He's world class in it, all instant reflexes, you know what I mean? So he's got something special about him, but I think he just needs a bit more time to develop. And he's not quite Premier League standard, but like Kev says, I think it would be a mistake as well to get rid of Patterson. We need somebody with just a little bit more experience, just to help him develop a little bit more. And I think give him a year or two, and you'll be aware. Like,
would you loan Patterson out to keep him? Keeping him experience, or do you think do you think Patterson be better off, or he'd be happier playing regular Championship first team football, or do you think he'd be happy being a Premier League keeper but being second fiddle on the bench?
He's a Sunderland lad, isn't he?
He is.
So I think he would want to stay. And if he ends up being the number 2, so be it. I think he'll have a season in the Premier League with Sunderland. That's what I think he would want. You've also got to think that we could sign a number 1 and he could get injured in the first game of the season and all, and then what? So I think we need to keep Patterson and sign a top quality keeper as well. That's what I think we have to do.
Fair enough. It's going to catch up on the chat as well. It's going like the old video printer on grandstand in the 80s. This is. Crikey, where are we? I can't. Sorry if I've missed any messages, guys and girls. It's gone daft. John Nesbitt says Chelsea keeper top quality. It's looking like he's coming, big game changer for me. David Graham says, is any of you lot going to the pre-season games on Saturday? We will have a crack on about that later on in tonight's show. Ian Brown says, we're doing business discreet, which is great, so we can get some great surprises. He says, feel free to have my kids, Gisolfi and Speakman. Equal not good enough, says Davy Walker. Richie Howe says his clause has already been activated for them to buy him. What is that, the Saudi League for the Chelsea keeper? Is that what you're on about? Jim N says...
I think he's on about Equal.
He's on about Equal. All right. Yeah. Jim N says, Equal is a very good player, but his heart isn't at Sunderland. Robin Hood says, disappointing if true. I liked him. Says, probably not Premier League quality, though. This is, I agree. David. Dougie says, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Gary Craig says, the home one will have 2 chevrons. It's like a template now. Yeah, well, fair enough. Hey, I'm not knocking the kits. I'm just an old schooler. I always knew Cabbie had a big one, says Dougie. And he's definitely talking about me water barrel there. I know that for a fact. Jim N says, hit the likes. Thank you. Nick says, any news on that boy, the right back from Bayern? I've not heard anything as of yet. Nick says, I hope we're not signing Johnston. Trisha also says, hit like and subscribe. Thank you. 89 now watching. 91. Thank you. Robin Hood says, I say something about centre-backs and a couple of minutes later I see us linked with Ogerd from West Ham. Every day, every few hours is something we're linked with. Yes, Dougie, thanks a lot, mate. If you subscribe, look for Cabbie's Transfer Talk videos on here. Thank you, Dougie. That's our Dougie and Trisha Winstanley, our good moderators, keeping the streets clean of rubbish in this chat. We've had some of the odd tool now and again. David Walker, Pato's not Premier League quality. Sadly, we need better. Patrick says, don't think Patterson would want to sit on the bench, to be honest. He says, but it's only my opinion. He says, he's off and we're busy replacing him. So he thinks, Patrick reckons, Patos are going to make his decision and he'll be away. Ricky House says, just lazy journalism, I think, because of Neil Cutler. He says, all the Chelsea fans think he's coming to us and lots of sites still saying it. He wants Prem football. Petrovic is a massive upgrade from Pato. Pato's been linked with Southampton for 9 million. I did a video on that as well. I did hear that. That's right, we can't be sentimental. We've got to improve wherever we can. David Scott says, I don't want Sam Johnson. I think he's not good enough. There is better out there. Nick says, he's not David. He was dodgy for Wolves. My dad's a Wolves fan, and he says Johnson's definitely a downgrade. Dougie Stewart says, no disrespect to Pato. Very true, Crave about Pato, says Dougie. Patrick says, Pato is too nervous, he says, to make a mistake when it comes to distribution. So many times in the last 2 seasons we could have scored off the break. What's the update on Petrovic? We will have a look at that later, Nick. Pato isn't up for it. He relies on punching too much, says Kingfisher. David Graham says, anyway, this Saturday is our first 2 of the 6 pre-season friendlies this month. The season is not long now. Bring back Pickford says David Scott. He's too busy enjoying it at Celtic. He's too busy enjoying it at Everton, winding up the Newcastle fans. He's got a cracking record against Newcastle, Everton, and Pickford loves it. Lads, I say give Pato the chance, says Picture Rich. He deserves it. And finally, for now, Steve Taylor says, can we all pass our condolences to the Jota families over there? Sad loss. And yeah, of course, I did a video on that ages ago. It's a massive shock. That Jota, isn't it? I mean, crikey.
What just a horrible situation in that. I mean, not just himself, his brother, and obviously just being married. And oh my God, it's just hard to believe what a family unit is going through. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's you just can't get to grips with it, can you? It's just absolutely heartbreaking news. I heard it on Talk Sport and they broke it. I think it's about 9 o'clock in the morning last week. It's just devastating stuff, really. They didn't seem to get any luck with news to the Liverpool with bad news and disasters and stuff. It stinks for them, really. But yeah, it'd be a big miss in the Premier League worldwide, that's for sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna look into now. I don't know if you've seen. Where have we got now? Yeah, it's great to have us with us. There's a picture of Habib Diarra and Noah Siddiqui at the Stadium of Light earlier today. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Standing with a young lad and his waist grip. That's the one I've seen, like.
I think Noah Siddiqui, he's the guy on the right with his sarong sort of African wear. He's like all in blue. And Habib, I think he's there with his trackie and stuff. And some of the fans.
It's the other way, Cabbie.
Is it the other way?
It's the other way around.
Is it? It's just the way they've got the word, and they've got Habib to the left when Habib's standing on the left. So it's the other way around, right?
Well, Siddiqui's only 5'5", so whoever's the smallest, that's the way I work it out.
I know some fans were saying, I hope we've not signed another Milton Nunes. And Andrew Palmer says, God, we need food in him. Get yourself down to Jackie White's. That'll sort you out. Yeah, there's just 4 minutes ago, Sunderland FC have joined the race to sign West Ham United centre-back Naif Aga, 29, according to a report from Foot Mercato. The Moroccan international defender is reportedly Marseille's priority target to bolster Roberto De Zerbi's options at the back following the exits of Chancel Mbemba and Luis Felipe. So that's just somebody else we're linked with. We're not used to these caliber of players, are we? It's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's nuts. It's just all happened.
The good thing that I think as well, like for me, well, for everyone, it should be players actually exciting or want to come. It's new for us that players see a project and they're excited by it and they want to come. The fact we've just come into the Premier League is not really bothering anyone. No one's really bothered about that. I think there's a belief in the football community in the world that there's something really special happening at Sunderland and people want to be a part of it.
I tell you what'll have done Sunderland massive favours as well. It's like the scenes at the Stadium of Light when Ballard scores. That'll have gone out worldwide. There'll have been millions watching that. And the atmosphere at that Stadium of Light when Ballard scored that goal, I mean, it's enough to see any player want to be there. Do you know what I mean? So, because that was electric. That'll take some top on that at the Stadium of Light. And then, of course, we did it again at Wembley. And, of course, the massive fan base. We could have sold more tickets. As of marketing concerns, to get the players to come to the club, that's only going to do the club really good for what we've done. You know, looking at them 2 games with the fans, the way they went, you can't tell me they're looking at that club and saying, hey, this club means business, are you?
Do you know, like when the players, do you know the crowd outside the match at the stadium, like for the playoffs, and the smoke bombs and the flares and the bus coming through? I would love that to be a regular thing every single home game.
Don't see why it shouldn't happen.
I think, yeah, why not? They should do that every single home game. Come in on the bus like that, all the fans outside like that. Let the away bus come through all that as well. I think that should be a regular thing from now on.
I think we should just chuck stink bombs under the away coach when it comes in. No, it did look good though, didn't it? I must admit. I mean, we've not seen out like that before. It was magic, and it showed you Luke 09, didn't it? Did you see him and sitting at the front of the bus, looking out? He loves it, didn't he? Our Luke.
He does.
He was like a 10-year-old opening his presents Christmas, wasn't he? Sitting watching all that. I mean, that's a big change from when we got him from Wycombe Wanderers. My God, has it gone different for him, hasn't it?
Do we know how long 09's injured for with his shoulder?
Don't know. If anybody else knows on the chat, I mean, last time he had a recurring injury with that, then he had to have a minor operation, didn't he? And he was out for quite a number of weeks, and he in his first game back he scored under the Alex Neil era, I think.
I've seen a few videos of the team coming back into training, and obviously he's not strapped up or anything like that, but you can see he's protecting his arms. So, and I could see the players were kind of coming to give him a cuddle and remember him about his shoulder and giving him a one-handed hug instead of a 2. So, and I just thought, I wonder how long he's out for, because just talking about centre-backs and things like that, obviously he's probably, I'm going to assume he's not going to be available for the start of the season.
I cannot see it. I mean, these dislocations, because, I mean, it can take longer than a break, surely because of the fact you stretch all your tendons and everything, and you can even tear muscles doing it. I mean, I dislocated my wrist once playing footy on the backfield years ago, and I was only a nipper.
I'm glad you said playing footy. I'm glad you said playing footy.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking, Kevin.
Dirty boy.
I was desperate to say something.
Just a very dirty boy. I would actually, if that was the case, what you were thinking, I'd be dislocating my wrists on both hands. So. Wait, you don't.
Like on the in between us when Jay says, "Oh, you can sit on your hand and be part of the dead hand gang." Is that what you do, like, Cabbie?
Yeah, that's good. I have a laugh in it. Hey, the Mackem Pastor Alex is in the area. How are you doing, Mackem?
Yes.
He's given us all our blessings as the pastor, as he always does. And I tell you what, we've had a lot of luck since Pastor Alex. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but since the pastors got involved with Sunderland, I mean, we've just gone from strength to strength, haven't we? From his mud pies. John 7. Absolutely. I think you should follow on from what your dad does, Kev. When you see Pastor Alex, you should sit back and go, "Oh yeah, Dad, Pastor." They were good, best of mates, them two, you know. Kev, Davey, and Pastor Alex. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Hello, John 73. This evening, lads. Just a thought: if all these signings are right, surely we'd be missing quite a few when the African Cup of Nations comes around. Yeah. I mean, I suppose he's got a point there, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, there'll be definitely 2 away, isn't it? Diarra and Siddiqui will be definitely there. Well, I'm sure Diarra's captain of Senegal now, isn't he? And so Siddiqui's captain of Congo. I think that's right. So they'll be definitely away, but yeah, so what? We've got cover. I'm sure they'll get cover in for them, just
how long
they won't get injured.
A month?
It's about a month, Kev. It's
just keep chatting, lads. My daughter's shouting of us. Hold on.
And is that the month of January? Is that right?
I think so, mate. January, February time, I think. Off the top of my head. I'm sure it's around about then. But there's only 2 of them, so you know what I mean.
I think that isn't Ronaldo, isn't he? From Anderlecht. Is
Oh,
he?
he's Moroccan. He's Moroccan, isn't he?
Aye.
Taldi. Right, so
Aye.
there's 3 of them. Aye.
I think I think every team loses players in the Premier League to that. I think now, didn't they? I don't think it's a novel. It's not a we're not the only team, I guess, but I'm sure Labrie will have that covered by the time it comes around.
Definitely somebody listening though. Huh?
We'll be safe by then and anywhere. We'll be sitting about 5th or 6th.
Top of the league and that.
Really high.
Think it's 2001, Kev. Stick a 5 onto that.
I know, mate. I'm actually tempted just because I do sit and like I've said to you before, we could play Real Madrid. I think we're going to win 10-0 before the game. So my mind is we'll win the league, and that's very, very, very unlikely. But there's a chance, and if there's a chance, I'll gun for it.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Keeps making it. Catch up on the chat as well. Pastor Alex says, just been shopping, bought my kids some buckets and spades. And Dougie and Tricia, hello. I'm great, thank you. Buckets and spades, where you going with them, Pastor? He's also... Eh?
The city by the sea.
City by the sea, aye. He says, Pastor says, I'm very privileged. He says, thank you for all your support. Me and my children watching this live. I don't think my wives will be happy. Well, you do things differently over there, don't you? I think Pastor, if I'm rightly so, last time when he messed one of the chats, I think he's got about 15 kids. That's just the one wife, I think. He's been
God, mate.
He's obviously don't sell condoms
busy,
over there.
I was gonna say he's a busy boy, Pastor, like it.
He's a dirty boy, more like it. Dirty vicar.
Extremely fit.
He's a very important person in the Earl chat. Is Pastor Alex? He's our vicar for the channel. Jim. Oh dear me, that's crazy, man. Jim N says getting Regis Labrie as a coach is a big plus for players. He's fluent in French, so another big plus. I mean, he seems to have a big pull, Regis Labrie, doesn't he, with bringing the players in, doesn't he? I mean, Regis Labrie, who's he? Who's Regis Labrie when we first got him? It's like, who's this fella? I don't fancy this fella. He's got his last club relegated.
He speaks well, though, doesn't he? He's very calm and meticulous, and he's reassuring. I would imagine people who speak to him believe what he's saying. Mm-hmm. I bet he uses the word connected 10 times.
Yeah. It's
Well, that's a good thing though, because with having a youthful team like Kevin Cabbie, that's what you've just said, Kevin. He's probably a very calm head for these young lads, because these young lads can be up a hype. You know what it is when you're a young guy. I love other players sometimes like this. He could be a very calm and head, like a proper sort of like youth manager. You know what I mean? He knows how to get into the heads of them.
He reminds me of Arsene Wenger. His mannerisms. It's like because Wenger he did show emotion, but he wasn't one of these ones that was jumping up and down on the touchline, going daft. I mean, he lost his rag a lot, but it was the most I've seen him get excited at the Stadium of Light when Dan Ballard scored that last minute goal. But even then, he sort of like went to get excited, and then he says, "Oh, I better calm down a bit." Do you know what I mean?
Did I?
As if to say, "Yeah, well, Ballard scored, but we haven't won it yet." Most teams, says Anthony, lose 1 or 2 for the African Cup of Nations. Forest lost 6. Only Man City and Newcastle don't lose any. Well, how often is the African Cup of Nations on? Is it every 4 years?
Nah, it's more often. Yeah. I feel like I want to see it too.
Because am I right? Because we have the Euros. the Copa del Rey is the version of the Euros in South America, so they can have their sort of Euro competition, and the African Cup of Nations is like their version of our Euros because they don't compete in the Euros. I believe that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Trying to qualify for the World Cup and stuff like that.
aye. Or the
Go through
AFCON,
the,
says Steve, is every 2 years, but it's big business over there. Like I said, it's their Euros. It's a huge thing. Like, I've not really watched much of it.
Some very good teams in it, all like Cabbie. Honestly, have some these African teams like the likes of Morocco. I mean, when I was a wee kid, you know what I mean? Like I can't remember Morocco being a class international team or like Egypt or anything like that. It was always sort of like, you know, like it was maybe one or two. I can't think off the top of my head. It would be like Ghana or Ivory Coast or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
These other teams are coming through now. The likes of Egypt are producing, you know, more salad. They've got another one at is it Marramush at Man City? And then you've got the likes of Morocco. You know what I mean? Look at the players from Morocco, like Hakimi, and you know, there's loads of decent players that play for Morocco. Ziyech. And it, you know, it's a massive competition. There's some fantastic games in it as well. You know what I mean? So it's always a good watch. That like.
Yeah. Copa del Rey,
Definitely
yeah.
open.
Am I getting muddled up with the Spanish FA Cup? What's the South American one then?
Aye.
Do you know what they have? They have their version of the African Cup of Nations. It's
Is another Copa America?
it could be the Copa America.
I think so. Yeah.
Copa America could be. Copa del Rey is the Spanish FA Cup. Yeah, I think you're right, David. Excuse me for getting that wrong. David Graham says, by the way, I'd like to send my regards to the families of the 91 people who had died after the devastating flood that hit Texas in the southern United States today. Absolutely, David. We all send our thoughts. Well, that'll be, and it's still ongoing as we speak.
Isn't it remembrance as well for Bradley Lowry here? I'm sure it is.
It is. It's a remembrance for Bradley Lowry, of course, today. Yeah. And the London bombing as well.
Yeah.
David Graham says raining tonight. Sun and wasn't predicted though. Yeah, it's lovely clear skies here. Paul Graham, the lad from Atletico Madrid, plays for Mozambique. Excuse the spelling. But I knew what you were saying though, Paul. He says he could be missing too. Where are we at? God, there's that many coming in. I can't keep up. Mackem Pastor Alex says, I've started driving lessons. It says it's very difficult. I'm used to riding elephants in my home country. So I hope to go to a Sunderland game this year to watch. I'm a big fan. Well, I hope you're setting off now, Pastor, from Uganda, because it'll take you that long to get here if you come going on an elephant, mate. And you'll need some pretty big L plates on the back end because the driving's horrific in Sunderland. Like, I don't know if mind you, whatever you do though, don't go over the new footbridge though, Pastor, on your elephant, because I think that could collapse. I don't think it's designed for that kind of loads. Somebody did say in the chat, mind by the way, that the bridge will be opening in a week. Is it the Keel crossing or something?
Aye.
Tricia says, I'm crying here. You do a brilliant Davey impression. I didn't realise I was doing an impression. Enjoyed the show. Ken Walton, the member. Hello, how are you doing? He says, enjoyed the show, lads. He says, can't wait for the season to start when the fixtures come out and we had not made a signing. I was dreading it, especially December, but let's go for it. Pack your trunk, Pastor, says D Hall. So yeah, we've got two friendlies coming up. We seem to be following a pattern, don't we? Gateshead and South Shields. I guess we'll be splitting the squad in half and going to both. I think I'll be doing a watch along on one of them. Like, it just depends. I don't know whether it's getting broadcast or there's commentary on it. I'll actually try and find that out. I might message Nick Barnes and saying, like, is there any commentary or whatnot?
The Shields game kicks off at 4:00, so I don't know whether Gateshead's going to be earlier because last year it was Shields at dinner time and then Gateshead on the night time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
I think I've seen 12:30, the first one, whichever one it is.
You're right, Kev.
Gateshead.
Gateshead, Sunderland, it's 12:30 kick-off, and then we've got South Shields. They'll be nipping on the ferry, going to South Shields at 4:00 kick-off. And then the 19th, it's Seville against Sunderland. That's at 8:00 kick-off. Sport and CP on the 21st of the month. That's an 8:00 kick-off. And then we've got the testimonial for Gordon, haven't we? Craig Gordon, Hearts versus Sunderland. That'll be a nice little match to watch. That's on the 26th. I presume that might be on a Saturday, 3:00 kick-off.
I'm hoping to get that.
And he's the one I didn't realise we're playing. We've got Hull. We're playing away to Hull as a friendly. That's a bit one out of the blue, isn't it? So I don't know whether Hull must be touring over where we are as well because we're playing them. Because straight after that, on the 2nd of August, we're playing Augsburg and Betis. 2:00 kick-off. Sorry, Betis is at the 2nd of August. The 9th of August is Augsburg. And then the last one is Sunderland versus Rio Vallecano. It's 16:30, which is 4:30. And then we've got a small matter of the Premier League starting the 16th of August against a team that likes to blow bubbles.
3 points straight away.
Oh, I don't
was
take.
going to say it.
You what, Rich?
Loads of people have tipped West Ham to go down this season. Like I've seen that as well. Like
yeah, and Brentford.
Well, yeah, because Thomas Frank's gone in.
Yeah,
losing in Burmo and Wisa potentially as well. See, it's all positive for us, man.
We'll be Ari. We'll definitely be Ari.
That's exactly what you sound like, you Davey. That's what he used to say. He used to tell me off. He used to hate it, didn't he? When he says, right, well, we used to give the predictions, and I used to go like 0-0. Your dad used to go, oh man, like that. Well, I says, what are you telling us off for, Davey, man? It's like, yeah, you've asked me for my prediction, I think you did that as well when you brought them on just before Wembley or something like that. And I said 0-0. It's just been mental, isn't it?
We'll beat West Ham 3-1 first game of the season. There you go. Then straight away.
3-1. I tell you what, even some fans have been saying Forest could be trouble for going down this season because I mean that they seem to peak and they were terrible the latter end of the Premier League. So people have got their eyes on them, believe it or not, which it can be possible. I mean, Leicester City won the Premier League and look where they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
I think Forest they're playing in Europe and they're in the conference. Is that right?
I think so.
Mate.
I think, but the problem with and this for Newcastle as well, by the way, when you kind of playing in them competitions not regularly in it, I think the struggle with the squads and the struggle with the amount of games, and I think the league kind of takes a bit of a hit for them kind of players. So I think Forest could be a good shout to struggle next season.
I think, especially because they're in Europe as well. So are they in Europe, Forest? They are, aren't they?
Yeah, all right.
Aye, they're going to have a fixture pile up. I mean, whether you say it or not, I mean, I even think it'll affect Newcastle in the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt. It's a big distraction being in the Champions League without a shadow of a doubt. And a lot of clubs seem to dip in the Premier League unless you're like one of the cartel clubs, like your Liverpools or your Man Cities or whatever. But apart from it, any teams below that cartel line, should I say, they seem to struggle in the Premier League. The form goes down when they start getting into when the Champions League starts. I mean, Newcastle dipped when they were in the Premier League, when they were doing well in the Champions League, the first stages, and same with Aston Villa as well. Their form dipped. So it does play a massive part. Pastor Alex says Newcastle just signed Ella Garner from a Forest. Sorry, he says I mean Nottingham Forest. Steve Taylor says, off to Portugal next Wednesday. Can't wait for all the experts to have us bottom. I never judged Sunderland with friendlies. I mean, yeah, there's loads of fans kick off and saying, oh my God, we're knackered. We're absolutely hopeless. I don't look into anything of a friendly. I mean, if that's the case, look when we lost the last 5 of the season, gone towards the playoffs. Everybody, including me, had them written off. Look what we did. Honest to God. Tricia says, thanks for the stream. Brilliant as always. And Pastor Alex Uganda is a welcome addition to cheering us all up. Absolutely. Paul Graham says, if Kev says we'll be all right, that'll do for me. Paul Bowman says, good stream. Let's pray for that 40 million striker. Dougie Stewart says, we played Celtic in a friendly years ago. Coaches of fans came through my hometown on the way there. Yeah, I think we lost 5-0. That's the features on Sunderland Till I Die. That was the Larry Grayson era, wasn't it?
I didn't want to play Celtic in any friendly or now.
No, you like Celtic, don't you?
I do. It'll just be no fun for me. But
David Walker says Brentford more chance going down. So yeah, we've come to nearly the end of the stream. Look, it's been a really good stream tonight. We've peaked at 95, 5 short of the 100, but still, it's brilliant. Brilliant views.
We'll do the 100 next week.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated as well. I don't know if I'm doing. I don't know whether Kev's working. I don't know what you're doing, if you're doing working, Richie. But I'm going to see what's going on for the Gateshead Sunderland game, for doing a watch along on there. I think there'll be quite a lot of interest in that. I can't remember last time if I did the double bill and did the South Shields as well. I think I just did one of the two. I don't know. I'll have to.
Well, I might be going to the Shields game. I've just got to get the ticket. Well, I've just got to get my ticket basically. So if there's any tickets left, then I'm going to the game, definitely.
So what you're doing tonight?
Live report.
Eh?
Yeah. I get some live reports and interviews with the players and that.
Richie,
your son will kick off with us, man. You'll go off it.
He's got a good point there. You could be like our Chris Kamara.
Aye, definitely.
My son will kick off for embarrassing him from walking around with a selfie stick and tarting himself. I'll see what I can do, though, for God.
John 73, how about this for the forecast? Mag struggling coming season. How well, lads, been good fun watching. Thanks, Cabbie, Richie, Kev, and Tricia. Great night. But thanks for everybody joining. Are you doing much tonight, lads?
No. I think.
Kev, you've got another half marathon to run, haven't you?
Honestly, I can hardly walk. I've got massive blisters on the bottom of my feet.
I'm glad you said feet there.
Man, I've just been in agony, proper agony. I still am. I've got to go. I'm back to work tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm just going to. I don't know. I honestly can't walk. I'm not joking.
Is there no Thai massage parlours where you can get them to give them a bit of a rub down?
On lunch break.
Yeah, on your lunch break.
Yeah, I will. There's plenty of things like that up there.
just tell your middle leg's really, really, really sore. It needs a bit of attention.
I'll let you know how it goes next week.
Absolutely. If it's too explicit, I didn't want any videos, mind. It'll put us off my pot noodle. That will put us off my liver and onion pizza. Right, we'll say good night. Thanks for everybody on the chat. It's been great. Cheers, Patrick. You're welcome. And cheers, lads, for joining us. Tricia says, my nephew has just done an ultra marathon, 50 miles. Wow, congratulations. And Ollie says, bye, Cabbie, Rich and Kev, and get well soon, Davey. See you all next week. Yep, we all say keep your spirits up, big Davey lad. Every single one of us right behind you. And he does watch, Kev says, he does watch these podcasts. So, Davey, you bugger. Hope you're all right, mate. And so
I love you, Davey, mate.
Thanks.
We'll end the stream now. So we'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers, lads. Thanks a lot.
See you, everyone.
See you later, man.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, boys.
Ta-ra.